Bonjour, salut from Fizzy Lou. We're here today making Monster High in The Sims. And guess what? This is my first video on YouTube. I've done a few streams already, but this is my first edited and pre-recorded video, and I'm so excited to share it with you. As you can see from the time, it took me a long time to make all of this. I think I made 6 Sims in this video, and I think each of them took me about an hour, and then I've condensed it all into a little over an hour, so we're gonna be here for a while. And I'm gonna try to record this whole voiceover in one go, so I'm a little nervous, but you'll have to roll with me. I'm pretty new at this, and we're trying things out. So yeah, I started here with Draculaura. She's always been my favorite of the ghouls, so she had to come first. And I tried to give her, when I was doing her face, some really bat-like features. So I gave her the pointy ears, and I tried to turn her nose up. And I gave her a pointed chin, too, which, now that I'm saying that out loud, I don't know if bats have pointy chins. That just felt right. It felt like it suited her. So yeah, then I gave her the classic Lolita pigtails, and this overlay on top of the hair that it's not meant to go with this hairstyle, but I liked the effect it gave of the sort of stripes or highlights, whatever you want to call them, in her hair. So yeah, then we played with makeup for a little bit, and I had so much fun making Draculaura. C'est mignonne. She's always been my favorite. I think I said that already, but I really love the pink and the girly vibes and the hearts and how cutesy she is. I know when I was a kid I had her Dead Tired doll, and that was my favorite Monster High doll. I loved that doll so much, and I loved the movies centered around her too. I used to be so scared of Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love? That movie scared me so bad as a kid. Fizzy did not like it. I mean, I liked it, but I would get to the scene where Valentine was like in that room with the weird floating Elvis heads. Do we remember this? Is that right? And he had like all the jars of like broken hearts, and the idea that you could love so much that your heart couldn't take it and would break was terrifying to me as a kid. Absolutely could not stand that thought. So that movie really scared me, and I would get to that scene and just have to stop and not watch the rest of it. So I have seen it all, like, in my adulthood, but I hadn't seen it when I was a kid, and, like, I don't know. I also loved, is it Fright's Camera Action where we find out more about the vampire powers and, like, Draculaura unlocks her abilities and whatnot? I think that's the one, Fright's Camera Action. I watched that recently with some of my friends. It was really fun. But anyway, the Sim, you're all here to look at this and talk about her. So you can see I gave her that really pretty dress. I believe it's from the game Shining Nikki. Some of you may know Infinity Nikki is the really popular one. Or if you do know Shining Nikki, good on you. Or Love Nikki, my favorite in the franchise. I've been a Love Nikkier for years, since about when it came out. I love that game. That's one that would be really fun to play on this channel, actually. Maybe we'll play Love Nikki sometime. But yeah, I gave her that dress, and I played with her makeup for a little while. I'm not a makeup person, like, at all. Fizzy does not do her own makeup. I know, my eye makeup is super cute, but no. So I usually, when I'm making Sims, I will give them, like, one makeup look and just copy it over to all the outfits and maybe change the eyeshadow. But yeah, here we're giving her that tattoo, her little heart on her cheek, which I try to draw it, or like I tried to use the stamp and trace around it. I end up drawing it on myself. I think it ends up looking really cute. The stamp was just a little too big, even when I made it as small as it could go. And then soon we'll see, actually, I give her this, like, what's the word I'm trying to say? A bite mark on her neck. That's it, because she's a vampire. So I end up, oh yeah, and while I'm looking to see if there's one in the game, I gave her that sort of scarring on her face. I was thinking of Bubbly Washing Machine, that art. You should go look her up if you don't, I don't know their pronouns actually. You should look them up if you don't know them. They create really cool artwork of the Monster High characters, like, looking like monsters. So they're a little scary, a little freaky. They're freaky flaws and all that. And I really loved the idea of that on Draculaura. I think she's the only one that I really played with that on, and it's just like the little bit of face scarring. I guess I did with Frankie too. I had so much fun with Frankie. We'll see them soon. But yeah, here I'm picking out a formal dress for Draculaura, and I tried a lot of like black ones and pink ones. Okay, that one there, that pink one. I need to talk about this because Fizzy's a little obsessive. That is the dress. I mean, I assume so. I don't actually know, like, the creator of that specific piece of custom content, but I believe it is meant to be a replica of the dress that Cora Mills wears in Season 2, Episode 16 of Once Upon a Time. I love that show, and I don't even need to check twice to know that fact, that that's the episode. It's called The Miller's Daughter. It's a doozy of an episode. I mean, that whole show is a doozy. The entire thing is insane. Not one bit of it makes sense, but that's why I love it so much. It's a good show. Fizzy loves a good magic fairy tale story. But yeah, you can see I gave her that sort of bat aesthetic with the bat necklace, and I think I give her bat earrings at one point. And like I said, I tried to give her the bat facial expression, or not facial expression, facial features, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so for this outfit, I try to give her, like, the fear leading outfit, but I end up not being a huge fan of it because the colors are a little bit wrong, because the Monster High colors are supposed to be black and pink, and we only have black and red in the game. We'll see. The fear leading outfit makes its return with one of the other ghouls. Which one? Stay tuned to find out. Ha ha ha. But I end up giving Draculaura, like, I don't think she ever got a dance class doll, but, like, if she did, this is what I imagine that doll would kind of look like, is the vibe I went with for the outfit. So yeah, we go with the cute little sheer top, and then some shorts with little hearts on the pockets. They're so cute. And then, oh yeah, I gave her, did I? No, I didn't give her the big boots. Okay, I thought about giving her the big boots. See, this is fun. I'm learning in real time what I did last week. Yes, and then I put her hair up. That is something I do a lot on Sims, is I tend to put their hair up with their athletic outfit and then, like, their swim and their hot weather. And I tend to put it all the way down with their sleep. I had a lot of fun with Draculaura's sleepwear. I know, obviously she wears really cute clothes and she's really into fashion, and, like, that's great. I'm happy for her. However, she's 1600 years old. You cannot take the old lady out of Draculaura. So I wanted her to have, like, a really old woman looking nightgown. It reminded me, my grandmother, she wears these nightgowns all the time, and she calls them her dresses, and she, like, does not understand that they're pajamas. She just wears nightgowns wherever she goes. Oh, it's my dress, I'm wearing this one out today, and, like, they're pajamas. And, like, she's a very competent woman. I mean, she's 88 years old, but she's not, like, losing a whole lot, you know, I mean, that happens in your old age, but she's not. No, she understands things. It's just that one thing she doesn't understand. And you know what? Good for her. If I could wear my pajamas everywhere, I would. Maybe one day we'll get a Fizzy model with pajamas. What do we think of that? Gee, fatigué. It's only like not even 10 minutes into this. But hey, we're having fun. Yes, okay, I gave her, like, the thing under her eyes because I know she is into fashion, and I like the idea of her still trying to look cute even though she's dead. Yeah. And then, oh, her hot weather was really fun to play with too. I give both her hot weather and her swimwear, I give her, like, a big hat, like a big sun hat kind of thing, which is kind of like what she has in G3. So I didn't really base the characters here off of G1 or G3. They're kind of a blend of whatever traits I felt like giving them from both of those. Ignoring G2, ha 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 ha. Ooh, there's a cat trying to get into the room. Hello, kitty kitty. Maybe someday I'll get a cat cam. But anyway, I made a blend of G1 and G2, and so I end up giving her a hat like she wears in G3 because it blocks the sun, and, you know, she's a vampire, she doesn't want the sun on her face. I wish I could have given her, like, a little parasol. I know that there is custom content of things that your Sims can just hold, but I never really like the way it looks. Something about it is always a little bit off to me, so I think once I have her in-game, I'm gonna give her an umbrella. I don't think there's a way you can have Sims just automatically take out an umbrella when they go outside if it's not raining. That would be so good. I wish you could do that. I wonder if there's a mod. I'll have to look for that. So I'm making, in The Sims, I have this one save that I'm working on that is my perfect starting save. It has all my favorite characters and my favorite places from fictional media, mostly, and just anything that I want in a world, and I am redoing the entire game save with it, which is a lot. There are 26 worlds, so I'm filling everything up, and I'm gonna use that as my base save whenever I want to start a new game so that I don't get bored really easily and stop playing. So I guess it's kind of like a forever world, but not quite. Okay, so here we're giving her traits, and I made her romantic, of course. And I gave her the vampire aspiration because she, of course, wants to unlock her vampire powers and all that. Yes, and then an overachiever, too, because she's, like, the student president and the student body president, sorry, excuse me, in G3. Okay, well, now we're on to Frankie. Anyway, that went by quick. So I give Frankie... This is where I spent a lot of time, was making Frankie custom tattoos. I wanted their entire body to look like it was patchworked together out of multiple pieces, so it's a bunch of different colors. And there's gotta be a better system. I fully understand this is the least efficient way I could have done it, but the way I figured out to make that work was to use that stencil there that gives you, like, the stitch sort of looks. It's from Werewolves. And then I colored in the stencil and then used that to block out where each color should be, and then I had to go back in and recolor the stencil over it to keep those lines really crisp. So I had to do everything multiple times. So that's why it took me about an hour to finish their entire body, but it was really worth it. I like the whole thing. You might notice this section is a little bit faster than the rest of the video. Watching the footage back at this speed while I'm talking to you makes me feel like I need to be talking really fast. So I do apologize if I'm just going and going and going and going. But that's kind of how it is. That's the life of the circus, you know? So we end up giving them a bunch of different colors here, so you can see, like, I tried to stick with mainly blue and green, but then I added in that little bit of pink. That's big from their G3 one. They have a lot of pink in their color scheme. And then I add a couple patches of yellow, and I think that's it for colors. I think I only go with the 4 colors. But we shall see. Oh yeah, the head took me a long time because, so like I said, this stencil here was meant for the werewolves. And when werewolves was added in, it gave us the same, like, pet customization thing on the wolves that we already had for cats and dogs. But we couldn't do that on regular human Sims yet. And so this is meant for, like, the wolf with the different, like, the slightly different body type and the ears and everything. And then when we finally got businesses and hobbies and we were able to draw directly on Sims like this, they gave us the same werewolf stencils, but they didn't change them. So they end up a little bit wonky in a few places. They're not quite right. But we can see... You can see on the head especially, like, there's those circles where there's obviously supposed to be wolf ears. So I end up having to draw some of it by hand, even though I did most of it with the stencil. I am not particularly an artist. I drew, like, my own channel banner and everything. My starting soon screen on Twitch, all those are the same image. The little circus tent. But, yeah. Yeah, you can see me drawing in, redoing the stitches there. Which, I don't know why I put so much effort into that, because it's gonna be covered by the hair anyway, but I guess for my own peace of mind, it looks perfect. The one thing about their head, too, is that spot right on their neck where the blue meets is the only place on the whole sim where the same color touches itself, which doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would, actually. But I really wanted their face to be specifically blue and green, and then I wanted the neck to be either blue or green. I didn't really care which one. But I think it all works out in the end. And we can see coloring around here. Yeah, there's, like, those couple of patches, like, on the hip there, and there's another one on the leg. Those are what I end up coloring yellow. Which I love the electric yellow in their color scheme. Voltageous, one might even say. Frankie was never particularly my favorite character, but they've never been my least favorite either. We'll get to my least favorite character. We'll talk about that. Don't you worry. I can't really remember much about Frankie and G1, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. I remember, like, the 2D cartoon, the webisodes, more than I remember any of the movies. Fizzy watched a lot of the 2D webisodes as a kid. Oh, that would be, like, a fun video or stream or something, is reacting to watching those again, because I haven't seen them in years. Ooh, I just keep getting ideas while I need to be writing these down. Like, no, I don't, because I'm recording this so I can just watch it back. Remind me in the comments if you want to see any of the ideas I'm bringing up. I know there will certainly be more Sims videos. I'm thinking I want to continue in this format where I do specifically 6 Sims at a time. That's a really nice number. I think in the future I'd probably speed it up even a little bit more than I have in this one, just so it'll be a little bit of a shorter video. But I noticed while I was thinking about it, because I like to make cartoon characters specifically in The Sims, and cartoon characters tend to come in 6s. Like, there are 6 main characters in My Little Pony, and Winx Club, and Strawberry Shortcake, and, you know, like, maybe there's a reason behind that 6 is just a good number. I've never done any research into, I've done a lot of research into kids media, because it's something I'm really interested in, but that's one I'd never particularly looked into. So yeah, we can see that pink coming back there. I really like that soft pink color. I like that it clashes a little bit with the other colors. Like, it doesn't quite blend in, right? Same with the yellow. Like, the blue and green look really nice together, and then the pink and yellow are just kind of there. And I love that. I love bright, bright colors. I want rainbows in everything. I want mismatch. Yeah. So Frankie was a lot of fun. I played a lot with their fashion. I think some of their outfits are going to be a little bit controversial, because I just wanted them to be a little wonky. They're 16 days old, you know? They're trying new things. They're figuring out what they want to look like. So you can see, not this leg that I'm working on now, but the other leg, I have this piece of custom content that it's like meant to be a prosthetic leg, and it has 2 parts. So there's one that's a tattoo and one that goes on as a sock. And I used both so that I could use the sock version that's actually like 3D and has a little bit of a like physical lip you can see on it. I really, really like that one, and I tried to use it where I could, but then for outfits where like they're wearing longer pants and it doesn't quite work and it clips through and everything, which there's clipping on this sim, but it's fine. Anyway though, I think like they're athletic, I think they're wearing longer pants, and so I just used the tattoo version, so when you can see their ankle, and you can still see that it's there, but it doesn't clip through at all. And I really like the way they did that. I'm hoping to have a CC list in the description of this video. It is a big if right now. There's the sock version of that. But I'm still trying to gather all the links, and it's taking a long time. And I think you will definitely get whatever I have done of that, but I don't know how much it'll actually be. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get a lot to you. I started collecting custom content long before I decided I wanted to be a content creator. So I have a lot of things that like I never even thought about. I might need these links eventually. Okay, so for their eyes, I gave them, one of their eyes is like, I think it's one of the mermaid ones with the blue swirlies in it, and then the other one is CC to give them heterochromia. I think it's so cute. I spent a long time playing with their hair. I had a really hard time deciding what I wanted their hair to look like. And yeah, you can see here I give them that same kind of overlay. Actually, I think the exact same overlay I gave to Draculaura. I can't remember now. And then I get to play with their outfit. And I kept the very, like, schoolgirl kind of aesthetic that they had from, well, they have it in G1 and G3. I almost just said Series 1. But yeah, and I played with patterns, and it's mostly pretty solid colors. I don't really, in real life, I'm all about rainbows, right? Fizzy got bright colors all over. But in The Sims, it is very much one color. I pick a color scheme for my Sims and stick to it. That is it the entire time. That's all we get. And so, like you saw, Draculaura was entirely black and pink, even though I love it when they add a little pop of yellow into her design. I think, is it the picnic date doll that has that really pretty dress with like the yellow buttons? Do we know what I'm talking about? I can't remember which doll it is, but I think it's a 2-pack with Claude. I think. Anyway though, yeah, so for Frankie I stick to mostly green and black and white, and I think a little bit, well, I guess the yellow does make it in. The yellow makes it in, I know, on their athletic outfit. I don't remember if it did anyone else though. Like I said, once again, we're watching this together. Oh, the knife earrings. I love Frankie and the knife earrings. They end up having like a weird sort of kitchen utensil aesthetic, and I don't know why. Like, there isn't anything to particularly relate them to cooking, but there's things like that one sweater, I think that's from Home Chef Hustle, that has like the bright yellow sleeves and then the cooking utensils on it. That ends up being their athletic. Just because it suits them. I don't know how to explain it, but Frankie in kitchen utensils just feels right. I guess it's kind of like Tools, the mad scientist sort of vibe. Anyway, so now we're playing with makeup, which, like I said before, I'm no expert in makeup, but I think I end up going with the green blush on both sides. I really wish we could do mismatch blush. That, again, I'm sure there's custom content for that, but I didn't download anything new for these Sims. I only used things that were already in my game, which is quite a lot. I'm actually working on clearing out my custom content right now. I think that I might do that as a stream sometime, like chat with me and chill and go through my CC. And then, because that'll have all the file names available too, so people can like look them up and try to download them. And I think that would be really fun. Yes, okay, their formal outfit, it ends up a little weird. Like, it's not... It ends up a little weird. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's cute. I really like it. I don't know how anyone else is gonna feel about it, but, you know, it's for my own Sims world. Once I have, like, the world built, I'm going to use it, like I said, as a base so that I can save it. You know, I'm gonna make a save file so that I can save it as, instead of the default world that when you launch The Sims and it gives you like all the standard townies, it's gonna be my Sims that I've put in there instead, which I did keep some of the townies. I kept some of the really iconic ones, like I kept the Goths, I kept Greg, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, the land grabs. So some of them are still in there, and I gave them slight makeovers, especially if they're ones that didn't ever get hot and cold weather outfits. That is an update that needs to happen for the game. I know they did, like the Goths and the Calientes both got their what do you call it? The revamp? Is that what they called them? I don't remember. But anyway, I know both the Goths and the Calientes got that. Like, they need to just go in. I don't care if they redo the other outfits or not, but give all of the Willow Creek and Oasis Springs townies their own outfits for hot and cold weather. I am so sick of seeing like Sims in the game spawning in with ridiculous outfits. Okay, I have no idea why I put that dress on Frankie for their sleep. Ooh, I don't remember what their sleep ends up looking like actually. Oh, yes I do. Because I had Frankie's Dead Tired doll as a kid as well. That, I believe, was the first Monster High doll I ever got. Unfortunately it broke. Her leg snapped off, which is really ironic now that we know what we do about G3 Frankie. But yeah, there you can see me messing with the setting, or different types of that prosthetic. And I gave them the little kitty socks that just seemed so suited to them to have, or not socks, slippers. The kitty slippers, blah blah, say that 10 times fast. And I picked that swatch specifically because it looks like my own cat, my baby boy. Yeah. Oh, what did I put on them for their party? Oh, no, I remember their party. Okay, that top that they just had, like the one that goes sort of around their neck, I think I try that on every single one of these Sims. Like I think at some point I considered it on all 6 of them. So, that's kind of fun. What group of 6 would we like to see next while I'm talking about that? I know, this is Monster High. I I'm debating if I want to do My Little Pony or not, because I love My Little Pony. The thing is, I have already made them all, and I'm already really attached to them, and I didn't record it. So, like, I could definitely make a recording of making the My Little Pony Sims, but they're not going to be the ones that end up in my world. I guess I could go through and just show off the ones I already have. I know something I do really want to do is Ever After High. That, my beloved, I was always an Ever After High kid, much more than Monster High. They took it off Netflix, and I'm devastated about it. I loved that show. And the thing about taking it off Netflix is that you can pirate it. There are still places to watch it, but they're places that kids aren't going to know about, and it is ultimately a kids show. Like, that's so sad to make it not available to its own target audience. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a Descendants hater, because it killed Ever After High, and that will forever be devastating to me. Ever After High had so much to say. I miss it. I love it. Had wonderful characters. I mean, Descendants has good characters, too. I really like Evie. She was always my favorite. I watched the movie recently. I work with kids, and so I watched the movie recently because they were watching it. And I hadn't seen it in a long time. It was pretty good. I didn't hate it. I loved Kristen Chenoweth. Of course, she's good in anything she does. Okay. Oh, we skipped several outfits that I didn't even talk about on Frankie. So we're on to hot weather now, and I end up giving them the non-binary color scheme. Like the one Pride update we had that added like that top and the shoes with it, I end up going with that. And I really, really like the purple added into their color scheme. Like, I knew the yellow was a good idea. That's part of why I went with it, is because I wanted them to have the yellow popping in there. But the purple really worked, and I wasn't expecting that. It almost makes me wonder if I should have made, like, some of the tattoos purple, like one of the smaller sections on their arm or something. But anyway. Oh, and also I tried on Maddie's spoon. I have Maddie Hatter's spoon earrings in there. So again, the kitchen utensils thing. I don't know where that comes from. And this, as soon as I saw the patched together outfit, I just knew it had to be that one. I end up, once I go into their traits, I give them, I can't remember if I gave them Freegan or Recycle Disciple, but one of the traits that's from, like, Eco Living and is about, you know, remaking things and reusing things and making things out of once broken things. I love the idea that Frankie's just a little obsessed with that, and that Frankie, like, wants to save all the trash they find or whatever. Because, you know, they were trash and they're not now, and it's really sweet and wholesome. Yeah, I think it's the Freegan trait I end up going with. I played around with their traits, I think, the most. I had the hardest time deciding for them. And of course, Love Bug, because G1 Frankie dated all the boys. I ended up, actually, speaking of Frankie's romantic interests, I accidentally gave them matching shoes with Cleo on their athletic outfits, and I didn't mean to do that. I just happened to pick the same ones, and I think that's so cute. Anyway, we're on to Clawdeen now. We're done with Frankie, and we're almost half an hour in. Oh boy. So Clawdeen, I gave her the glowing yellow eyes, and again, I tried to go for wolfish features, you know. I played with those ears. I end up giving her custom content ones that have piercings all the way through them, I think, because, I mean, her actual dolls have piercings. Okay, so as a kid, I had Ghouls Rule Clawdeen, and I loved that doll. I don't know what happened to her, sadly. I know her hair was a wreck because I played with that doll all the time. But I now have, actually, I found at a thrift store her original doll. And I mean, like, when I say original first wave classic look, like, it still has, like, the old elastic in the legs that they only used for that very first run of them. So it must be one of the original ones. But I found her in a thrift store with her full outfit and everything. It was crazy. So I do have that doll. I have a number of Monster High ones now. I know I have Cupid too, is my other, like, the original run that not the Pre-production either. I didn't actually get any of the Pre-productions, and I'm kind of sad because they were really cute. But it's okay. So yeah, Clawdeen was a little harder for me to pick outfits for. Like, I didn't quite have her aesthetic pinned down like I did for the other ones. I know this skirt that she's wearing, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was the perfect one with like the cheetah print and the purple and everything. I didn't like that the buckles are silver though. I wanted gold. Clawdeen needs gold in her color scheme. I end up going with silver on the shoes too because I used these custom ones that make her a little bit taller than all the other Sims. I wanted her to be the tallest. Ideally, I would have made Draculaura shorter than the others too, but I don't use height slider mods because it bothers me when it makes their arms the wrong length, so yeah. Height is... I mean, the dolls, at least in G1, were all the same height. Was Draculaura the same height? Hold on, now that I'm saying that, she didn't have the little sister body, did she? I don't think so. Like, I know Helene and Twyla did. Now I'm not sure. Oh, that's gonna bug me. I mean, in G3, they all have different body types. That I tried to give them all a little bit different bodies. I wanted Clawdeen to have the very hourglass figure. Like, I wanted her to definitely be the diva and the fashionista. That is my one gripe with G3, is that they changed Clawdeen so much. Okay, so there I'm trying to add, she has that bright green in her color scheme. Like I said, the doll I had as a kid was Ghouls Rule Clawdeen, and like, jolie. She had such... It was like all the green and purple, and her makeup had the green in it too, and it's a gorgeous doll. Go look it up if you don't know what it looks like. And I really wanted to include that for her. And so I end up giving her those green socks, and I give her green makeup too, which I think I regret a little bit. It's not... I don't know. It looks good with some outfits and not others, and I know that's my own fault for just copying it. I do change her makeup with a few outfits. I know her formal outfit, I end up giving her like almost entirely that bright green color. Actually, I think it is entirely that bright green color. I love a neon. I think Clawdeen would walk into a room and want everyone to look at her immediately. But anyway, so here I'm playing with necklaces. I wanted to give her a choker, kind of like a dog collar because of the wolf thing. I really tried to reference all of their monsters as much as I could. I had a lot of fun with Lagoona. Once I get to her, she'll be fun to play with. But yeah. Clawdeen, I mostly didn't do a lot to reference the wolf thing because I could make her an actual literal werewolf. I do give her her wolf form. I don't do much with it. Like, it's pretty standard. I don't change a lot. I mean, I change the colors. I think I pick a body shape. I don't really remember. I just kind of clicked on things for that one. But so here we're playing with her makeup, and it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted it to look like. And I'm not 100% set on it. I might still go back in and change it. I had something I wanted to go back in and change on one of them, and I can't remember what it was, so I didn't get the chance to do it. But I know there was, like, after I closed out of the game, I said, oh, I should have done this. So maybe while I'm watching the footage back, I'll remember what it is. But yeah, we're giving Clawdeen all of her makeup there. And like I said, I used that green color, which with this outfit, I think it really works because it pops with those green socks. I love the socks just barely peeking up out of the boots. Okay, now on to formal. Yeah, this is the one that I knew immediately I wanted a jumpsuit on her, again, because of that Ghouls Rule doll. I really hope Ghouls Rule is actually the one I'm thinking of. Was it Ghouls Rule or was it Sweet 1600? I think it was Ghouls Rule, where she had, like, all the fur, like, on her legs and I think on her arms, too. I don't know. I'll Google it when I'm done recording. I'll go find out. Like I said, I don't know what happened to the doll. But anyway, oh, and I gave her claws with all her outfits too. I wanted her nails to be nice and sharp. And then I give her, with her wolf form, I end up giving her like purple sparkly claws with the rest of the standard looking wolf. Like, when I make werewolf sims, I never put clothes on their wolf forms. I think it looks a little bit weird. So yeah, we'll see that eventually. It's frustrating though. You can see, like, I've had to unlink. If you look in the bottom corner there, you can see I unlinked the wolf form from her regular form because I didn't want the clothes to, like, automatically get put on there, because that happens if you don't unclick that. But yeah, so I changed her hair again. I gave Clawdeen a different hairstyle with every outfit. I think she's the only one that I gave, like, every time a different one with. because I just love the idea of that. Clawdeen is always changing her hair. I should have done that for Frankie too, because like I said, I wanted Frankie to really be experimenting and playing with their style. But Clawdeen I had a lot of fun with, and I loved that jacket that I put on her there too. It isn't obviously very practical as a jacket, having one detached sleeve, and also it has English text on it, which normally I prefer any text in the game to be Simlish, but I decided that, like, I like the cut of that jacket. It's so cute and unique that I didn't mind it. And then the leg warmers with it. Ah, I love leg warmers. All my Sims have leg warmers. Je t'aime. Je t'aime. Non, pas je t'aime, je l'aime. Oh, my brain is fried. Ah. Je les aime. That's what I was looking for. Ah, oui, merci. Okay. So yeah, then for her sleep, I thought about giving her that matching robe with the bonnet, but it just wasn't, I didn't like that robe on her. I needed her to have a fluffy sweater. That's something I've noticed. I've made a few werewolves in my game, and I've tried to give them like an actual fur coat, and noticed that we really don't have any kind of fur coat in the game. Like for the cold weather outfit, I love like a nice fluffy fur coat. There's a couple of them with fur on them, but none that are completely fur. The game randomized her in that dress for her swimwear, which I love that dress. It's very beautiful. It randomizes as swimwear all the time. And like, it's fine. I mean, it's just one click to get rid of it. But it always amuses me. Okay, and then here, I wanted to go with a leather jacket with her party. I don't remember what I end up putting her in for her party, so this will be a fun adventure we're gonna find out together. Yeah, I really liked the gold on Clawdeen too. Clawdeen looks really cute in gold. But I liked Howleen more than Clawdeen as a kid. I really liked Howleen. I don't know. I think I just liked that she had orange hair. Orange is such an underrated color. It's my favorite color. Yes, okay, now that I see that shirt, I remember what Clawdeen's party outfit looks like. And again, it's the purple and green. Those colors were perfect for her. They suited her so well. And then I think this is where I change her hair too. I end up finding one that I prefer as her everyday hair. So I end up giving her that. Yeah, it's that one that because I like that it flops over like little wolf ears. I think that's super cute on the top. Okay. So I've given her that like crocheted looking top and the sunglasses. And then I need some nice big baggy pants with it. I try a number of baggy pants before settling on one that I actually liked. So we'll see that in a minute there. Again, playing with the hair, I knew I wanted it pulled up on top of her head as much as I could. So that was just sort of finding the right one. Yeah, I end up really liking that one. I think that's the one I go with actually. Now I can't remember. Again, we'll find out soon. Isn't this so fun? We're learning together. Yeah, so I look at all the baggy pants, and I think I look at a couple skirts with this one too. I know there's one skirt I have that's like a purple, like, pleather thing. That's what pleather is short for, is purple leather. I know it's not. Anyway, I end up looking at that one, and I really wanted it on her somewhere. I believe I put it in her hot leather. So we'll see that soon. I keep telling you what we're gonna see soon, but I'm excited. I worked really hard on all these. Like I said, they all took me about an hour each. Frankie took 2 hours because of the tattoos, so they were easily the longest one. But yeah, so then nails. That's what we're doing now. I looked for ones, because I looked at the Pride ones to see if any of them were the lesbian flag, and like the closest we had was that orange radiant sort of thing, which isn't quite right. I mean, there is a version of the flag that's all orange, I think, but I like the sunset colors, the orange and pink one. Okay, so on a Clawdeen swimwear. Doing her hair for this one, I did some research into like natural hairstyles and what is best for swimming and what's protective for your hair and everything, and I found that it should be braided and pulled back, so I went with that. I thought about putting like a swim cap on her, but I thought, like, I liked the image of her walking around the beach with her hair out, so I thought this would be a nice compromise. Because you know Clawdeen cares deeply about her hair. Like, she's very much using all the hair products and putting a ton of effort into maintaining it. And then I give her that swimsuit, which I know they're a slightly different shade of purple. I'm so sorry if I pointed that out and you didn't notice it and now you're bothered by it. But I know the top and bottom aren't the same shade of purple. They're a little bit different, but they're not different enough to bother me personally. I don't know. Let me know if it's like a huge ick for you. Okay, then this is where I go in and give her a tattoo. I give a number of them tattoos because I just like tattoos on my Sims. I would never want a tattoo in real life, but in The Sims, I love them. So I gave her like a moon tattoo on her arm that we'll see if I ever turn her again. Oh, and this was when I remembered that rings exist, because I wanted her in as much jewelry as I could. Clawdeen is a jewelry girl. And again, I go with the gold, even though she's already got silver on her, which doesn't quite match up, but it's fine. It works out. Yeah, okay, and then we're on to our hot weather. We're almost done with Clawdeen already. Wow. Yes, that's the skirt that I really loved and wanted on her somewhere, and so I needed to find a top that went with it. And this, I think, was the one where I struggled the most to really decide what kind of style I wanted. I don't know. Clawdeen has such a specific style, but, like, I don't know enough fashion words to name it. Like, when we were doing Draculaura, right? Like, I know Lolita fashion. I know my Decora, my Fairy K. You know, so doing that was easier. Like, I knew even, like, what to look up as references. Whereas this, I was just sort of looking at pictures of Clawdeen, at her different dolls and things. But I did like this little vest. I can't remember if that's the one that I end up with or if I change it again. I guess we'll find out in a minute. But yeah, we're on to nails. Oh, we already did nails. We're on to jewelry. That's right, bracelets. And again, I wanted... Yes, I liked the spikes and the sort of leg cuff thing. I really like doing that on my Sims, like where I'll put, it's like balanced but asymmetrical, where there's one thing on her leg and then something on her other arm, so it keeps her, I don't know, it keeps her feeling balanced, like it doesn't look like she's gonna topple over on one side. So yeah, then I play with her hair a little more, because I had a lot of fun picking different hairstyles. I think I give her little afro puffs with this outfit. I tried to cut out most of the I cut out several minutes of scrolling in this video, like after the footage was sped up. It was several minutes, so it must have been, oh, who knows how long. But I cut out a lot of scrolling, so I guess I should have probably cut all of that scrolling with the hair too, but I just did. But hey, we've moved on already, so it's fine. I tried to give her socks, and I don't really know why, because socks didn't look good with these shoes, and I didn't think they would either. And then I give her the leg warmers, which I always give my Sims leg warmers on their hot weather outfits, and I don't know why, because obviously when it's hot outside, you're not going to wear something meant to warm you, but I like them. They're cute. They tend to go really well, because obviously for hot weather outfits, you're going to be wearing like shorts and little skirts and that kind of thing, so I tend to like the leg warmers and feel like they add a stronger silhouette to it. I know, we've never seen the bottom half of Fizzy, but she does have leg warmers on Fizzy. Yeah, so then I give her a hat, and then I tried to find another hairstyle too to put underneath the hat. Okay, I tried the cat ear one because I thought it could be wolf ears, but it was too definitely cat, which I guess she could be wearing cat ears like for Toralei, but I don't know. I preferred the no ear beanie. And then the logo on the front too, that felt very fashionable, very modern. Yeah, so now we can see all of her outfits together, which I really like them all. This Sim is super cute. Okay, and then we're going to move on to her traits in a second, which you can see I've already put traits in there. Those were like randomized in because I needed to save her and quit the game for a second. So I just like clicked the random button and went with whatever it had. So yeah, that's Clawdeen. Oh, that's right. We have to do her wolf form. Anyway, so I gave her hot-headed, of course, because she's a wolf. She can, you know, blow up. And I gave her creative. And then I gave her the Lady of the Knits aspiration because it's at least related to making clothes. Anyway, we're on to our 4th sim. We're halfway through, 3 of 6. So we're making Lagoona now. I forgot to give her a name right away, so you can't tell which one it is, but I know it's Lagoona. And like I said, I had a lot of fun with her. Her facial features especially, I did quite a bit of research into facial features like of Aboriginal Australian people, and I tried to keep that look for her since she is from Australia. Generally, she's based on, I feel like her look is more based on G1 Lagoona, but then like the personality I envision for her is more on G3 Lagoona. And I gave her that like swimmer's V-shaped body with the broad shoulders, which I think she ends up looking really top heavy because I give her big hair too. Like she kind of looks like she's just gonna topple over a little bit, but it's fine. She's in the water. Gravity isn't gonna bother her. I do way at the end of the video, like after I've finished making all of the Sims, I go back in and give Lagoona like a bubble space helmet sort of looking thing. And I really like the idea of her having that. I also make her a mermaid eventually, so she has the water form. But yeah, I gave her those braids, which she doesn't have. I can't think of a single Lagoona doll where she has braids in her hair actually, but I liked that, you know, kind of keeping it back and out of the way, and I liked how long it was. I picture her with very long, flowy hair, and then she's got like the big ear fin things and the scales and whatnot. And then I went with very athletic clothes for her. That's, Lagoona tends to be in sweatshirts and swimsuits and that kind of thing. Yeah, and pink. Pink was definitely the big color for her. I tried to, like the scales on her body, I tried to make kind of purpley pinkish because I wanted somewhere between the blue and the pink. I really like them together. But yeah, pink, and then I give her a lot of black too. That again is very, like her G1 color scheme is very pink and black. So I guess Lagoona is really based on G1. Some of the other ones less so. I know, like Frankie was probably closer based on G3. I don't know, it's hard to decide. I know a lot of people are very specific about like, oh, G1 is perfect and they don't want to touch G3 at all or anything, but I really like both of them. I think both have their merits, both have really great things about them. Like, I don't know that I necessarily like one more than the other even. Doll-wise, G1 was better. I will admit that. But like the cartoon, I love the G3 cartoon. It's adorable. I love Twyla specifically, my baby. I mean, haha, Fizzy likes the autistic character. What else is new? Ha ha ha, who could imagine why? Oh yes, okay, Lagoona's formal. It took me way too long to realize, duh, she needs a mermaid dress. And I gave her that one that's absolutely gorgeous. I like the idea that Clawdeen made it for her. But the pink and the gold, and oh, it's so pretty. And then her athletic. I don't remember what I gave her for her athletic. See, we're finding out together. This is fun. If I say it enough times, you'll all start to believe it. That's right, I wanted to go with I wanted it to look like she had like a swimsuit on underneath what she was wearing, is why I went with, I mean, I know that's a sports bra with a jacket over it, but that is how, I've never had her original G1 doll, but I do have her very first G3 doll, and I know that she is actually wearing a swimsuit. And then I gave her her pajamas. I don't see her really being into pajamas. My version of Lagoona, because when I make characters in The Sims, I am always making my own version of the character. It's not meant to be perfectly replicating anything. And my version of Lagoona is not that into fashion. Like, she'll wear a pretty dress, she can appreciate a pretty dress, but especially for something like sleeping, she's not gonna worry about cute pajamas. She's just gonna throw on what's there. And I loved, for her party, this one too, because I liked that it reminds me of a jellyfish. Oh, and then that, for her hot weather outfit, I end up giving her that outfit, and I end up making the pants, I think the pants blue and the top pink, and it makes me so happy. It again looks like she's got a swimsuit on underneath something. Yeah, and her swimwear, I give her that top because I end up making her a mermaid, and so that top blends like with the mermaid look and the tail and everything. Yeah. I really like, so Lagoona in G3 especially has this like murderous thing going on. It's really fun and goofy. And I think I end up giving her actually the macabre trait, because that just seemed so right for her. Like, I don't know how to explain that one. If you've seen the show, you get it. But that trait actually, I think I just don't know what the word macabre means. Because I always assumed that it's like dark and heavy, but in The Sims, it's like this character is living their life to the fullest because they're not afraid of death, basically. And that seemed really fitting for this version of Lagoona. It reminds me, again, I'm talking about Ever After High, it reminds me of Briar Beauty almost, like the gonna live it up now so she can sleep for 100 years. Yes, okay, now we're making her mermaid form, which was pretty simple. I know I kept most of it the same, did I not put the fins on her mermaid form actually? I don't remember now. Unless I did while I was looking away there and didn't even notice. I got distracted talking. I tried to play The Sims and do casts on stream a little bit, and I found myself struggling because I was either talking or I was paying attention to what I was doing in the game, and I couldn't do both at the same time. So this is much easier to have already done it, and now I'm doing all the talking, so if I want to zone out and ignore what's happening there, I can. Okay, so now we're on to Ghoulia. Zombie Ghoulia. What a woman. I don't have a whole lot to say here. I mean, I used a lot of the facial features from vampires on Ghoulia, because I thought they gave that sort of creepy zombie aesthetic. Oh, Ghoulia's hair. It took me so long to find a hairstyle I liked on Ghoulia. Okay, her aesthetic ends up being very different than I thought it was going to be. I went into it thinking I was going to give her, the scene kid sort of vibe, and then she ends up being very goth, but I really, really like how she looks. It's not a typical look I'd give to my Sims. I don't really go for the all black very often. Like I already said a couple times, I love bright colors, so the all black is not generally my thing. But it worked so well on Ghoulia, and I had a lot of fun making her, so maybe I need to make some more goth Sims. I have a whole spreadsheet of the world that I'm working on, my giant save. I have a spreadsheet of what characters I want to put in which lot and, what kind of houses I want them to have and everything. But I don't have it nearly all the way filled out. I barely have anything decided, so that's part of it too. If there's any characters that you really, want to see me make, I would be super happy to do it. The only thing about me and making characters in The Sims is I don't like characters that look like real people. This is a weird personal thing for me, but I don't ever want to make Sims that look like a real person. Even if they're playing a fictional character. Like I already told you that I love Once Upon a Time, right? But I would never make Emma Swan in The Sims because she would look like Jennifer Morrison, and that would weird me out, that that's a real person in my game. I don't even make, myself or my family members or anything. I don't want real people in my game. That's so weird to me. But, yeah, so I like to make cartoon characters in The Sims. Oh, and then I got to play with makeup for Ghoulia. I give her some funky, I guess it's technically blush, but I give her, those streaks down her face. So side note about Ghoulia, by the way. A lot of people talk about her and don't like that she started talking in G3, and I totally get that. A lot of people saw her as really good nonverbal autistic representation, which I'm obviously not nonverbal, but I am autistic, and personally that always confused me, seeing her as nonverbal, because she talks, they understand her, there's communication and language, she's speaking a different language than everyone else, but it's not no language, But at the same time, if people are finding representation with this character, that's great. Who am I to tell them they can't, If this character means a lot to you for that reason, that's wonderful. Why would anyone want to take that from you? But that's my personal feelings on it. I didn't really mind that they made, I preferred her speaking Zombish all the time. I don't like her talking as much in G3, but I don't mind it either. It doesn't bother me, you know? Okay, so then we get some funky nails, and I played with, like, the dirt nails. I think I gave those to Draculaura, too, because I liked the idea of, like, clawing at... Okay, we need to talk about that glitch. This, in between making Lagoona and Ghoulia, that update came out, like, the skin overlays update, and the one that added, like, the pack selector, that one that broke a bunch of things. That is something... I found a bunch of cast glitches. Yeah, like that one of, like, that shininess just appearing suddenly on everything. And weirdly, I found it more when I was using, like, actual game EA-made things than when I was using custom content. So I don't really know what that's about. You end up seeing eventually a couple of her outfits. Like, there's a weird sort of overlay texture shiny thing. I know there's one where there's, like, shiny looking underwear that just, like, won't come off of her even when she has a different dress on. Like, it's still, that texture is over it. We'll get to see it eventually. But, oh, her athletic outfit. Yes, okay. So I wanted to give her, like, the scribbled on pants. I really liked the idea that she did that herself. Again, it's her athletic outfit. Now, I've made all these Sims young adults, but obviously they're Monster High. They're teenagers. And I liked the idea that she was, like, sitting under the bleachers scribbling on her pants during gym class instead of doing whatever she was supposed to be doing. 'Cause me too, girl. Fizzy does not like gym class. But yeah. Then I tried to go with a lot of red. I wanted her to have... Yeah, okay, you can see that sort of underwear looking thing. Like, what is that? What is that texture overlay thing? Anyway, I wanted her to have cute pajamas. I don't remember which pajamas I end up giving her, but I know I play with a number of, like, the button-up sort of top, like, classic-looking pajamas. I guess it's sort of similar to what I did with Draculaura. Oh, that's right, because I found that one with the cherries on it, and cherries were so perfect for her. Anyway, it's similar to what I liked with Draculaura, where it's very... She's an old lady. I mean, Ghoulia is a teenager, but, like, we have no idea what year she died in. You know. So anyway, I had fun playing with that for her too. I really liked her in, like, longer skirts and everything. Like I said, I went kind of goth, kind of emo. I don't know a whole lot about either of those aesthetics, so I do apologize if I'm mixing those words up. I know a lot of people in those communities get really annoyed, like, if you call it the wrong one, so please correct me if I'm using the wrong thing, but yeah. And then... Ooh, I looked at chokers as well for her. I don't remember if I end up going with one or not, though. Maybe. Oh, that's right. I liked the string one, because it almost looks like she's been beheaded. Or, like, you know, like you're pulling, like you could just pull that string around her neck and cut it right off. And then that randomized as her swimwear, and it was so perfect. Like, it's meant to look like, I believe, Victorian-era swimwear. Like, it was just so cute on her. And then in the solid red, too, I loved it. Yes, okay, this is the outfit where I couldn't get the glitchy underwear pattern thing to go away, so I end up just leaving it. Oh, and this is the point when I looked up pictures of her and said, oh my god, she has glasses. I haven't given her glasses at any point. And so I went back through all of her old outfits and started giving her glasses, which I really like Ghoulia's glasses. I would definitely wear, like, the big, like, librarian cat-eye kind of glasses in real life. I'm a big fan of that look. Yeah, again, there were those, like, overlay glitchy things happening. I have no idea what that was about. But yeah, so I gave her a few different glasses with different outfits. I thought, like, her formal, I gave her kind of clear ones, but mostly I stuck with those red ones, which they clip really hard through her hair. I know, because I gave her the hair that goes down over one eye, and I know... The clipping looks really weird. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but there wasn't really a way to get around it. None of the glasses were going to be small enough that they wouldn't clip. Or at least if they were small enough, they wouldn't match her, you know. Oh, and then her hot weather here, I gave her the candy bracelets. You cannot tell me Ghoulia is not a candy kid. Ghoulia is out here trading her candy bracelets all the time. She is making, like, those Mario Kart candies, you know. Gamer Ghoulia. Yes, and so here I gave her, like, the big cozy sweater, and again I tried to stick to red mostly with the, or black and gray mostly with the little pop of red. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, and headphones. I loved her having headphones on. Okay, so now we look through all of her outfits. They're all really cute. I just remembered I was saying earlier that I wanted to give one of the Sims something after I closed it out, and I couldn't remember what it was. I wanted to give Ghoulia the sluggish walk style, because she's a zombie. That's what it was. But yeah, I give her like the geek trait and socially awkward, because she is socially awkward. And I gave her loyal because her and Cleo are so close. And now we get to Cleo. And this is where I have to admit something, that I'm not a Cleo fan. Like, she's fine. That I feel like most of the characters in Monster High, I either really like them or really don't like them, but Cleo I'm mostly just indifferent towards. She never really struck a chord with me. She was always my sister's favorite when we were kids. So, like, I would be Draculaura and she would be Cleo whenever we'd play Monster High. But yeah, I gave her this hairstyle, which was actually designed to be a Cleo de Nile hairstyle. And I really do like it on her. I did have fun with her fashion eventually, but it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted her to look like. Like, I had no idea how to dress her, so I actually I play with it a little bit, and then I switch over to her athletic, and I give her the fear leading uniform as her athletic outfit, and that's the first one I put on her, because that was the only one that I had a solid vision of what I wanted. And I give her, like, the gold shiny fear leading uniform too. Again, because of what I was saying with Draculaura about not liking the red instead of the pink. But anyway, yeah, and I try to pull her hair up, so I look at a few different hairstyles for it, and I eventually find a ponytail for her. And, woohoo. Yeah, you can see me playing with a few things. I did really like that top. That was definitely a contender for her somewhere. Once I got this one, actually, the inspiration that I got, I put her in this uniform, and then suddenly it struck me that I wanted Cleo to dress like Cordelia Chase from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So the rest of her outfits are all very Cordelia inspired. But obviously different colors, because I went for the pretty light blue and gold for Cleo. And I gave her heavy makeup. I liked playing with that too. So yeah, this is where I start kind of figuring out what I wanted. Oh yeah, and I gave her a name, of course. She is our very last one here, by the way. We're on to sim number 6. I didn't even mention that. And we're over an hour in. I've been talking for over an hour, you guys. That sounded a lot more daunting before I did it. So yeah, this is very exciting. But yeah, I really liked that blouse on her. I never would have thought Cleo's top would come from Strangerville. Like, that pack didn't seem to match her vibe at all, but it really, or at least this one really does, and it's cute. And I play with those pants for a little while. I think soon I go in and go onto the gallery. I was so done drawing tattoos after all of Frankie's, so I just went onto the gallery and searched for bandages, and I put one bandage tattoo on her. And I think I give her a snake tattoo somewhere as well. But anyway, I put the bandage tattoo on her foot, so I end up deciding not to go with the pants just because I want that tattoo to be visible. And then I give her shoes that sort of ballet slipper come up and wrap around her ankle. So we'll see those in a minute. Yeah, and the big jewelry too. I wanted big heavy gold jewelry on her. Yeah, and I knew I wanted sandals, probably heeled sandals as well at this point. I just struggled with Cleo. She was the hardest one for me to dress. I don't know. Like I said, I gave her the matching shoes with Frankie on accident in their athletic, which I guess kind of makes sense because Frankie is also on the Fear Squad, so they would own the same fear-leading shoes. What a silly pun. I love the puns in Monster High. Can I just say that? Ever After High too? Excellent. Hexcellent puns, even. Genial. Yeah, so then I played with hair accessories for Cleo. And I don't know. I think I end up giving her that little bow with her everyday one. I just wanted some, oh, that's what it is, I give her that crown. Yes, okay. I wanted something on her head. She was looking way too plain. So yeah, I gave her, yep, this is where I start looking for tattoos. And I find bandage ones, and I kept this whole section of scrolling through the gallery in just because I wanted you to be able to see, like, the name of the creator and everything. I wanted to be able to credit that. Which actually right now went by fast enough that I didn't get a chance to look at what the name was, and I didn't write it down anywhere. I'll have to do that in the future. Okay, I played with the pantsuit again, and I don't know why I did that. Because obviously Cleo is a queen. She needs her dress. And I love this blue dress on her. It is the perfect color for Cleo, and I really like the cut of it. It's not, I don't know. I really like it on her. It's not the first thing I would have thought of to put on her, but as soon as I saw it, I knew that it was the right choice. And then again with the big heavy jewelry, gold, gold, gold. Yeah, I scrolled through earrings, were another thing I looked at for quite a while. And I think I gave her earrings on almost every outfit. I know, like Clawdeen, I gave her the ears that had the piercings on them and just kept those the same with everything, so I didn't have to worry about earrings. And Draculaura, I gave different earrings on different outfits too. I can't remember. I don't think I gave Frankie anything other than the knife earrings on their everyday outfit. Frankie headcanon, they wear clip-on earrings. That's all. Like, that wasn't the intention while I was making the sim, but now that I'm sitting here and talking about it, I just see that. That's perfect. Frankie wears clip-on earrings. Oh, and then the big fluffy robe for Cleo. I love a diva, I will say. Whatever my feelings on her as a character are, like, she was fun to dress. She was fun to find the style for, even when I had a really hard time with it. And there's that top again, which I think the neck like that was especially for Cleo because I was looking at pictures of Cordelia as my inspiration, and, like, there are a lot of pictures of Cordelia wearing a top like that. But yeah, I loved the big bow on the front too. Like, it is a little bit goofy, but I think Cleo can pull off a little bit goofy. And then I had such a hard time finding pants to go with this. There aren't a lot of, like, nice sandy colored pants. I knew I wanted to go with that, like, sandy, mummy wrappy sort of color for her. I don't remember if these are the ones I ended up going with or not. Like, the sort of light yellow works. It's not perfect, but I wanted, like, her robe here, you can see, is a little bit more tan. I don't know. And then her makeup, I do change her makeup around a little bit because I think Cleo is the type to be changing her makeup a lot more than some of the, I mean, Draculaura would be changing her makeup too, but, like, she can't see herself, she's a vampire. Which, by the way, doesn't actually make sense, because the whole idea of not being able to see vampires, and of course as a fairy I know all about this, because I have met vampires in the magical realm, but it's because silver. Mirrors used to be made of silver, and silver would repel vampires, so therefore they couldn't see themselves in the mirror because it's made of silver. But modern mirrors in the human world, not made of silver anymore, so why can't vampires see themselves? Important question out there. But yes, now we're on to, oh, I really liked this outfit. I gave Cleo a lot of darker blue with this outfit, which, like I was saying before, I tend to give my Sims a specific color scheme and stick to it for everything, so this darker blue was really different. It made me think of, like, I know I was looking at images of her, you know that initial leak of her G3 doll? Yeah, that's the moment I saw that globe thing and said, oh, I have to put that on Lagoona. But anyway, her initial leak of her G3 doll with that jacket with the fringe, I don't remember if she actually has that jacket on the doll or not, but that leak when we all looked at it and said, what is this, she looks awful, and then it turned out she was fine, that had some of that darker blue in it, and I think that's where I got the idea from. Oh, and then I really liked that outfit too, and I regretted not using it anywhere, but I don't know where it would have fit in. I liked everything she had already. All of her other outfits ended up good. I am happy with how she looked. And then, yeah, this again was one that I just had no clue what I was going to put on her. I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. Like, obviously it's her cold weather outfit, but I mean, she's in Egypt. Like, it's not going to get super cold. you know. So I ended up going with something pretty light, like the skirt, and I think I give her leggings under it, maybe? No, I don't. Okay, never mind. So now we'll go through all of her outfits one more time, and then we will see at the very end, I go through everyone's outfits. I put them all in the same household and go through all of them together again. So, yeah, we'll give her her traits. And of course her aspiration, the leader of the pack, because she wants to be queen, she wants to be on top. Yes, okay. And I gave her, so I have like zodiac traits in my game, and I'm not an astrology person, but I gave her the Libra trait, which was, when I looked online, generally decided she's a Libra, because I think Cleo makes it a personality trait that she's a Libra. I think she talks about it all the time. Like, I don't care about the other Sims zodiacs. That didn't seem important enough to put as one of their 3 traits, but for Cleo, it absolutely is. But yeah, we're going through here and we're looking at all of their outfits. We've seen all of Draculaura's, and now we're looking at Frankie's. And then I do make a couple of little changes while I'm going through. Like, I decided to add more of that scarring on their face. I know this is where I add to Lagoona as well. I think while I was doing Draculaura, I think I gave her earrings on one out. That was, again, I was zoning out. I wasn't looking at the footage while we were seeing Draculaura's outfits. But yeah, this is where I decided to give Lagoona that headpiece. I think I play with... No, I didn't play with the color of her scales. But yeah, I put that on almost all of her outfits, except, well, I kept it on her regular swim outfit, but I took it off of her mermaid look. Because obviously she's underwater. She doesn't need her head in a bubble. Yes, and this is where I changed the color of those pants, because I really liked the blue on her. And I liked her cold weather with that really muted pink, too. I don't think I'd mentioned that the first time we went through it. And Ghoulia in that dress for her formal, I cannot think of the word I was trying to say there. But anyway, yeah, and then I gave her some heavier, darker makeup as well. That really seemed to suit this sort of vibe for her. And yeah, we're almost done. Now we're gonna look at Cleo. And I mean, we're wrapping up here. We're just about at the end of everything. So we're gonna finish looking at the outfits, and then we'll save it as a household, and I end up putting them all in different households in my world, but that isn't in this video. Thank you so much, and Fizzy will see you all next time. Bye bye! Au revoir!